If the 1920s was a period of time when women first began to outwardly express their emancipation and independence by wearing makeup in public, showing off their ankles in shorter skirts, wearing non-constricting clothing, then the 1930s was the period of time when Hollywood screen sirens kind of took beauty to new heights. Color magazines became widely available at that time, so it suddenly became a new platform for makeup artists like Max Factor to really push and sell the products that he used on actresses in films to the general public. Because films were still being shot in black and white, contouring was still quite a big thing for artists, and they would use like brown paint and white paint to really sculpt and reshape the faces of the actors. Women had access to color nail polishes and colorful eyeshadows at the time, but it wouldn't become a huge thing until the 40s and 50s. Defining features of the 1930s look: one, really matte skin. They realized that the cream paint sticks they were using on actors for stage in the 1910s and 1920s started to look really shiny and greasy on camera. So that was when Max Factor created pancake makeup, which was, I think, I would liken it to modern day powder foundations. They would apply that damp, of course, and then it would set to that matte powdery finish that would not reflect the light too much. To the incredibly thin, dramatic arched brows, they would not do the angle until late 40s, 50s, so it was still a very rounded shape, a half moon sort of. Some women would draw it really round and some would draw a slightly flatter arc, but it would definitely be rounded and very, very thin. A lot of people shaved or plucked their eyebrows off completely just to draw it back in. 3, a very rounded contoured socket, and lashes, lashes, lashes. They kind of ditched the smoky, sooty eyeliner from the 20s and just went for false lashes at this stage, and also strong contouring around the hollows of their eyes just to bring out the bone structure. The 1930s was the period when false lashes became available to the public en masse. It was created around the 1915 or 16 period for films, but was not available for sale to the general public until this period of time. So the 30s was all about lashes. They also used a lot of mascara, cake mascara, but they emphasized the bottom lashes a lot. So the more spidery, the more long the bottom lashes were, the better. And last but not least, the heart-shaped mouth. So this was the period of time where they underdrew the middle of the upper lip and then overdrew the outside. So the Cupid's bow got expanded and pushed further out, and they would do a very exaggerated curve here. So this would be completely rounded. You wouldn't do the curve in and out. That tiny mouth of the 1920s, that was not popular anymore. But at the same time, they didn't really want a really huge mouth, not like the 50s. So this was still a very dainty looking mouth. They didn't overdraw the bottom lip. They didn't make mouth too huge. It was just about creating that heart shape, which was really, really popular at the time. In terms of exploring retro makeup looks, I kind of feel like 1930s is a period that I haven't really paid too much attention to myself. I mean, I've done plenty of 1920s inspired looks with the really smoky, droopy eyes, lots of smudginess along the bottom lashes, the tiny Cupid's bow mouth. I've also done, obviously, a lot of the 40s, 50s bombshell looks, red classic lips, overdrawn, thick arched eyebrows, thick winged liner. In fact, I would say Instagram makeup is 1950s makeup done with neutral colors. Everyone is doing it these days. So I decided it might be fun to explore some of the key beauty trends from that decade and just show you guys what was popular at the time. You may not want to recreate this in real life, especially not the brows. Everything else might be okay, but those brows, oh my god. But still, it was a fun process for me, and I hope it will be fun for you to watch as well.